Okay guys, so it is Tuesday again, and this week's theme is books. And I'm actually kind of excited to talk about this, even though I'm gonna have a pretty boring video, I think. But, you know, we'll see. But I'm gonna talk about our theme now, okay? So, cue the intro!
If I could look across the country, from California to New Jersey.
Okay, so with the theme of books, I wasn't really sure what I was going to do, but I decided that I'm going to talk about books that have inspired me to write, and maybe a little bit about what I've written based off of these books. Well, one is more recent, and actually is based off of a book and a dream I had, so I'll talk about that in a minute though. But first is What Happened to Lonnie Garber. I know I talked about this in my intro video, and I really love this book. And I loved it for a really long time, since high school, which isn't really a really long time, but I'm in my third year out of high school, and I like this book since my freshman year, so, you know, it's a good 7 years ago, 8 years ago, something like that. So this book I've liked since then, and one of the quotes is actually in the yearbook next to my picture for senior year. Oh, and if you were curious, here's the yearbook page with the quote. You really can't see it, but that's the quote. Be kind to everyone, because you never know when you're meeting an angel and you're just not aware of it. Yeah. And I've always loved that quote, because I really, for anybody that believes in angels, it actually could be quite true, because you really don't know if that's the case if you believe in angels. And I absolutely love that. And it's a very, very moving story. Like, for anybody that's been bullied or has ever thought, you know, to think outside the box when nobody else is, it's a very touching story. And, you know, that's what Lonnie Garber teaches the character, like the narrator in the story. And I love that. And it inspired the story that I wrote called Footprints of My Heart. I know some of you have probably read it. It was a long time ago, though. About Riley and my narrator Greg and his brother. I don't know if that makes you remember anything, but this is the book that inspired that story. I read this book, and after that I had the idea for Footprints of My Heart. And then the other one right now is actually a movie that's out, and it's a young adult series, which is Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief is the first book, and then there's another 4 books, I think. And I've gotten into this series recently because I wanted to read the book before I saw the movie, and I actually really liked it a lot because it added in a lot of Greek mythology, and I thought that was really interesting, and Greek mythology is actually kind of fascinating, and it was amazing how well the author put that into the books. And I've read the first 2 so far. I'm on the 3rd one. And I actually like the second one a lot better than the first one, but that's besides the point. I would recommend the series. It's really good, especially if you like Greek mythology. It's a very good series if you like Greek mythology. But recently it actually caused me to have a dream that is now inspiring another story. And the dream was a combination of angels and demigods, however you say that. I can't talk today because it's been a long morning. But that was my dream, and now I'm gonna write a story that has half angels and demigods, and it's actually turning out to be quite fun to write, because there's similarities and yet major differences in the 2 groups, and they're gonna have to work together, and I don't know how that's really gonna work. So I'm kind of excited to write that. And I think that's all I wanted to say. I just figured that would be what I'd do with this theme. And I'm excited to see what everybody else decides to do with the theme, you know, whether they do quotes or whatever they want to do. I'm really curious to see it. Amy, I'll see you tomorrow.